Hi, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. We are live tonight. It appears we are live only on YouTube. Do you know why? That's because Facebook has given us a little slap on the wrist for something that I said in the half-time show yesterday. Well, I've watched it back. I couldn't see what I said that was wrong. I was a little bit cross at half-time yesterday, as you can imagine. So much to talk about today. As I say, apologies, we're not live on Facebook, but you lot are all watching us on YouTube and I believe on Twitter, which is great. We want your views, we want your comments as ever. There is so much to talk about. Please like, share and subscribe to this. Yesterday, obviously, Aston Villa 2, Leicester 1. I'm going to start the show off. I want your views, I want your comments, but I'm going to start off by saying I am definitely Brendan Rodgers in, but the defence was a shambles yesterday, and we have conceded 10 goals from set pieces this season already. And Brendan was telling us just a few weeks ago, a few days ago, that we don't have a problem from set pieces. I want your views. I want your comments. Join me in today's Fan Zone show live, exclusively live for some reason, only on YouTube.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So while I sort things out and get this shared on Facebook, tomorrow night I have got to tell you we have got some free beer tasting to go with Everards. So while I just sort out some of the tech stuff, just watch this video I made with Kia from Everards.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. I'm down here with Kia from Everards. We're down here at the retail space. Kia, we've got some beer tasting coming on. Next Tuesday, we'd like to invite all Leicester fans, anybody you know, come down to the shop and do some beer tasting. And is it free?
Yeah, it's free. So between 5 and 7 on Tuesday, just pop down to the shop here. The team will take you through some beers that we've got on. We'll have Sleigh Bell, Festive Ale, and if you're lucky, we'll have some milk stout left as well.
Free beer tasting down there. Come down. It's at Everards Meadows. It's just off Foss Park, next to Geno's Coffee House. You'll see it straight from the road out there. Free beer.
Yeah.
Come and have a taste with me Tuesday night, 5 o'clock.
5 till 7. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kia. We'll see you down there.
Yes, indeed. Come and join me. I'll be down there from 5 o'clock tomorrow night, Everards Meadows. If you've not been down there, come and have some free beer and you get 10% off in the shop as well. Right. Naughty boy, says Reedy. Indeed. I've obviously said something naughty on Facebook yesterday. Listen, half-time yesterday, to be fair, I couldn't even do the full-time show last night. So last time at half-time, it was hard. Nigel, good evening. Of course, I'll say your name. Good evening there. Claudio says, great. In the FA Cup, yes, we have got Watford at home. What are your views on that? Let me know what you think to that. Reddy says, what do you think about Watford? Listen, it's not going to be easy. We could have had an easier one, but it is at home, and we did beat Watford the other day. So, hey, you know, it could have been harder. Matty says, good evening. Good evening to you, Matty. What are your views on things? Shockingly bad, says LCFC Grey. Again, if you watch the replays, the players don't even look at the opposition when the ball is in flight. I agree with you, LCFC Grey there. Did you watch it back? I said to you yesterday, at full time, I did a quick show. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to put my foot in it. I was a bit too fuming. I wanted the dust to settle a little bit. I wanted to watch it back on Match of the Day, the highlights, which I did. What on earth are we doing? What on earth are we doing at set pieces? And interestingly, Brendan has now come out and he did in his post-match show interview, he did say we have got a problem with sorting the defence out. Yeah, absolutely we have. Matty says we've got a massive defensive problems, and if it's not sorted soon, we are drifting alarmingly south. Matty, listen, I'm going to say this again. We've run a poll today. I am 100% Rodgers in, but is going to be the topic of tonight's thing. Listen, what do you guys think? You're watching this. We ran a poll about 2 weeks ago, and it was about 76% in and 24% out. We've run that same poll again today, and it's definitely swinging back the other way. And I'm not stirring the pot here, but fans are definitely just starting to go. I'm not. I think give Brendan. It's just a drop. It's not been bad. And I think you can rectify it. Just got to sort the defence out. Zonal marking, just get rid. It's ridiculous. Watch their second goal yesterday if you've not watched it back. None of our players are watching. They put two big centre halves at the far post. Sonku's not even watching them. I almost feel sorry for Casper. He shouldn't really have got beaten on his near post from a header from that angle. But nobody else in the Leicester City defence was doing anything to do it. Ross says, where's the serious suit? No. We're keeping it light-hearted, Ross. I'm not getting into too much of a problem. Naeem says, zonal marking, they were marking each other, three of them. I agree with you, mate. It's absolutely was a joke, some of that defence. And guess what? Napoli will be watching. Newcastle United will be watching. They'll be rubbing their hands, going, we know what to do at the King Power Stadium. Get into them. They don't like it when you press them. And they don't like it from corners and free kicks. Absolutely. Fee, I don't know the exact date. Honestly, it was only just drawn before we went live. It's normally around January. I'm going to guess January the 4th, 5th or 6th. That's when it normally is around then. Guess who got Forest, says Naeem? Arsenal. We don't really give a monkeys about them, do we? But anyway, the Forest fan is here again. Good evening, sir. I say, sir, it could be a madam. Leicester's going to get smashed in the FA Cup. We won the FA Cup last year. I'm not getting back into this rivalry thing. Again, forget, you're not rivals. We're not your rivals. Jason. It's about 21 points. You're talking about we've got to get to that magic 40 points. Honestly, I think this season, so LCFC Josh says here, why are you Rodgers in? What have you seen good in this season? We bottled top four twice. People need to wake up. We are not overachieving. That bit at the end, I agree with. Don't get me wrong. I think if you see on look, I'm going to put it back on there. I'm Rodgers in, but he really did annoy me when he said we're overachieving because that's absolute nonsense. Top, Vichai, 5 years ago said, 6 years ago, 7 years ago said, we're going to be a top five club. That's what I'm investing in, is a top five club. And we've achieved that, which is not overachieving. Brendan Rodgers has come in, to be fair, and achieved less than the couple of seasons than before he joined us. So I still think Brendan's... part of my question is to you guys, and this is what I'm questioning myself, because I am Rodgers in, definitely Rodgers in, is I question, and I don't know the answer, has he lost the dressing room to some extent? That I don't know the answer to it. I don't know what you think. Has he lost the dressing room to some extent? Are some of the players? And here's an example for you, and I want your views on it. And after the match yesterday, and all today in the office, I've been chatty about it. Do you know what? The defence is a shambles. We can't defend set pieces. And I don't want to pick on James Maddison, but what he did at the end there, when we had a free kick with a few minutes to go, last couple of minutes, we had a free kick halfway in their half to pop it into the mixer, as they call it. Pop it in and let's see if we can get this equaliser. He puts the ball down and then does a terrible free kick. You've got players queuing up on the centre spot and to try and nod it in and do something. So he does a terrible free kick because he doesn't do that, and like we're all sick to death of passing. Well, I am. I'm still Rodgers in, but I'm sick to death of all the passing. But instead of popping it in there and causing some issues, he puts it on the ground and he tries to do something clever off the training ground, as they say. But it doesn't come off. He passes it straight to their defender. James Maddison looks an absolute muppet when he does that. That's my words. I don't mind saying it. I think he looked a muppet when he did it. And then to make himself look even more stupid, he then tries to win the ball back and fouls the bloke. And then when he can't win the ball back by fouling the bloke, he trips him over. Sunday morning, pub football, I've seen that. If you did that on a Sunday morning in a pub football match, some of the team would cheer and jeer. Most of the lads would say, come on, we're here to play football. We're just here to enjoy the game of football. And when Maddison does that at a professional level, being paid What's he being paid? 50, 60, 70, 80, not stop me when you get to whatever he's being paid on, 80, 90, 100 grand a week. And you've got a player who I know I've not put any comments up, I'm sorry. But when you've got a player who is playing a pub football, I'm going to leg him over. He legged him over. We're 2-1 down and he's legging players over. What do you think to that? Because that's some of the things that annoyed me the most, even though I'm Rodgers still in. I know you've been putting loads of comments in there, so please keep putting the comments in there. Fee, thank you for watching as ever. Brendan has not achieved less than before he joined us. Have you forgot the FA Cup and the Charity Shield? Fee, yes, I haven't. Of course I haven't. But for me, winning the Premier League far outstrips winning the FA Cup by a million miles. Even though I'm chuffed to bits we won the FA Cup, a Premier League title is like up here and the FA Cup is there. That's just the reality. You'll have to forgive me. We have to win the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, quarterfinal, semi-final. You have to win 6, 7 games. Forgive me for not knowing off the top of my head how many games is it to win the FA Cup. It's 6 or 7. To win the Premier League, we had to win 38, and we had to beat every side and be the best in the tie. The Charity Shield, by the way, it's now called the Community Shield, is not taken seriously by either club. Don't know why. I'm pleased we won it, but it's a pre-season friendly. The result doesn't even go in the record books. The goals don't even count for the players. So he hasn't achieved more than before he came here. I'm still him. Carl is saying Madders is on 80 grand. If he's on 80 grand to play, to leg people over like you would in a pub football, I'll put it on, mate. Derby fan. Can't pay, take it away, Derby. Pub football at your finest, typical Leicester. Mate, you guys will do well to be in a pub league next season. You'll be in the Derby and... what will it be? Derby and Melbourne Southern Division. You'll be playing Melbourne Town in the Frank Betterworth Cup or whatever it is out there in Derbyland. Reese says, Albrighton is underrated, gives 100% every week and never makes the squad and is behind Perez. Listen, here's another one for you. I tell you what, we don't do these shows with any script. Reese has just said Albrighton doesn't get on. What do you have to do if you're not Mark Albrighton, if you're Kelechi Iheanacho? What do you have to do? Listen, here's another one. I'm Rodgers in, but why did he put Kelechi Iheanacho on with 4 minutes to go? What's the point in that? What is the point? Iheanacho's got one of the best scoring records for us and assists in the past 12 months. We're 2-1 down. We want to try and get back in the game, get a point, maybe even try and win it. Why'd you put Kelechi Iheanacho on with 4 minutes to go? That I don't understand. I'm Rodgers in, but why only put Kelechi Iheanacho on for 4 minutes? I'm starting to talk myself out of being Rodgers in, but I still am Rodgers in. Reedy says, the FA Cup and Shield, Community Shield can't save Rodgers. We didn't even play well in the final, really, says Reedy. Listen, if you're honest, and Reedy's being dead honest there, we were a bit lucky in that FA Cup final in the end. I know, I was lucky enough to be there. I'll take it and put it in there. Cups don't save your job these days. Ranieri won the league, then got sacked months later. Ross, here's another one for you guys. And I said earlier in the office, I would mention this. And again, we're going completely off topic, but it came up today. I'm still annoyed, upset, disappointed that we sacked Claudio Ranieri. It still rankles me. And I got asked in the office, but yeah, if we hadn't sacked Ranieri, we'd have gone down. And I said, and this is me being honest, I would rather have not sacked Claudio Ranieri and got relegated than sack him and stay up. I'd have rather kept him and stay up, is the honest one, but it really rankles with me. Yes, Claudio Ranieri did the most amazing thing for us in the world and still didn't save his job. Ben says Roberto Martinez won the FA Cup with Wigan. Redknapp with Portsmouth. Yes, it's a great achievement. What Rodgers with us to win that, but anyone can if you get the right draws to the final. Listen, I'm chuffed to bits that we won the FA Cup. I'm not belittling it at all. But it is an interesting one. LCFC Gray says, I think to take us to the next level, the checkbook for quality needs to be used. Here's my next one for you then, LCFC Grey. I'm Rodgers in, but I don't think we bought very good players in the summer. There, I said it. Not good enough for the first team is what I mean. Do you agree with that? I'm Rodgers in, but I don't think we bought any players. None of the players we bought in the summer are good enough to be regularly first team starters automatically. Vestergaard isn't, Bertrand isn't, Sumari, don't think he is. Patson Daka could be, but is Jamie Vardy's always going to get the pick? So that's 4 players in the summer: Bertrand, Vestergaard, Sumari, Daka. They're the 4 big signings, and none of them really, if you're honest, if I'm honest, I think are in that starting 11. Lookman seems to get into the starting 11 a lot more, and we haven't bought him. I don't think we will buy him either. So please get as many of your comments in as possible, and I'm going to read as many out now because you've heard a lot of me. Overboost Drift says, I'm Rodgers in, but if we lose in Napoli and don't win against Newcastle, he has to go. I think it will start to get tricky if that is. Gray says he thinks there's unrest at the club. That was one of my questions. Has he lost some of the dressing room? Ben says, just wondering how many poor performances would it take to see if he's completely lost the plot. Well, as somebody's just put there, if it was Overboost said, if we lose to Napoli and don't win against Newcastle, I think it will start to get a little bit less. Where's the deluded pair tonight? They thought Rodgers under the bus versus Chelsea. I don't know quite who you mean there, so let me know who you mean by that. Keep those comments coming in. Do me the favour, everybody who is watching, please make sure you like this video and you subscribe to Leicester Fan TV. We haven't really got into what is going on with the defence. It was a shambles. I did invite a certain ex-centre-half from Leicester City, we all know, who would get stuck in to come on the show tonight. And he said he best not, because he would probably say the wrong thing. We've let 10 goals in from set pieces. 10 goals in. Honestly. Keep getting those comments in. I'm going to skip down and get some. Casper never looks happy now. Yeah. Matty, I think you're onto something there. He's always moaning as well. Moans every time we let a goal in, moans, and it's like their first goal yesterday. I don't know if you noticed, if you've watched it back on replays, they scored that goal and moaning, and it's Daka's on the line. They're moaning about offside, offside. Patson Daka is stood. Watch it. Watch the replay. Trust me. Watch their first goal again. After this, go and watch it on YouTube. Patson Daka, I swear to God, is stood about that far from his own goal line, and he sees he sees Sonku and other people appeal for offside, and Patson Daka's like this, offside. He's the nearest man to the line. He's playing everybody onside, and he's appealing for offside. Does he know the rules? I'm sure he does, but goodness me. What's happened to the lamppost I've been hearing about? You're talking about Vestergaard. Danny says, people are mentioning Ward a lot today. What's your thoughts? Good question, Danny. Your namesake, Danny Ward. Would you play him against Napoli in the Europa League? We want to win against Napoli. We really want to win because we want to progress. And I do think we've got a big eye on the Europa League this season. I think it would be potentially one to put Danny Ward in, because it would give Casper a rest. We've had a tremendous amount of games. You could use the fact that he got kicked on his wrist yesterday. I would possibly put Danny Ward in. I think you see, the trouble is when you've got Kasper Schmeichel as your goalkeeper and your captain and one of the biggest voices in the club, very, very hard to drop him. I think if he was to pick up an injury, it might help things out in a weird way. Luke Thomas isn't even watching Matty Cash when the goal was disallowed. Yeah, I agree. Well, he wasn't watching them for the first one either. There was a lot of watching going on. Poor old, well, I was going to say Casper for their second goal, because honestly, no Leicester players are anywhere near the ball. Do you think we've got to the level that we're 10th to 5th position team now, says Barry? Yes, probably, Barry. because again, I've mentioned this before. We messed up. We should and could and should have got Champions League 2 seasons ago. We were in the top 4 all season, and we fell out in the last game against Man United. We had Man United at home. Tough game, don't get me wrong, tough game. But if we'd have got the right result at home, we'd have been in the Champions League. That's the first season. Second season, I've moaned about this before, and I don't like to. We were in the top 4 all season until 14 minutes to go, when we were 2-1 up at home against Spurs, who were lower than us, and we ended up losing 4-2, wasn't it, last game of last season? If we'd have qualified either of those, or both of those, certainly both of those, for Champions League, if we'd have qualified for Champions League by beating Spurs last game of the season, we wouldn't have bought Soumare, Daka, Bertrand, and Vestergaard. We'd have bought better than that, because we'd have had more money. That's my honest. And I think 10th to 5th cup runs, as a Leicester fan, if I'm being honest, that's pretty good, Barry. That's pretty good. A 5th to 10 consistency with a cup run, a cup final, a cup win for a few years. If I'm honest, that would I'd be saying that's all right. I'm slightly lowering my expectations to that. But as a Leicester fan, I'm also saying that's amazing, Barry. So I don't know what you think to it. David says, yeah, Casper has to go on the bench. He does not help the defence, stands his ground and watches the defenders. He's past it. Give Danny Ward a chance. He could come out and punch some stuff. He is great at the old Casper Schmeichel blocks, but he could come out and punch some balls sometimes. Ethan says, we're saying the same thing every week after week, every game. Then lose the next 2 games, Rodgers has to go. People need to realise that we're a mess with Rodgers, and we are mid-table right now. Listen, Ethan, a couple of wins. This is how fickle. This time next week, I will see you next Monday, Ethan. Ethan, I will see you next Monday, 7:30 here, because we could have beaten Napoli, one of the best teams in Italy, and been top of the Europa League group, which is, don't forget, in Europa League, top team goes through and carries on playing Europa League sides. Well, it goes through to the knockout stage, but the team who finish second have to play another round of matches, and they play there in the pot with some of the Champions League teams. Team who finish third go in the European Conference League, whatever it is, which, let's be fair, none of us want to go into that. I think we'd rather, and we can't finish 4th. So 1, 2, 3. If we beat Napoli, and then if we beat Newcastle at home, which I haven't got that much faith in at the moment, but if we were to do those 2, we could be in 7th or 8th in the Premier League. We could be through the first set of games in the Europa League. And I think, actually, it would be really pretty decent. But what do you think on that? No, I don't, Rene, if I'm honest. I don't. I'll stick with Brendan, because I'm a believer. I wouldn't have got rid of Ranieri. Now, get ready for this. Get ready for this. Get ready. You're going to have to sit down. I wouldn't have got rid of Claude Puel at the time. There, I said it. You'll all hate me. Go on. You can all go if you don't. I know. Listen, I think Claude Puel was trying to build something. And I think Brendan Rodgers is trying to build something. And I work in business a long time. And I think if you've got, Brendan Rodgers is the right person for me, Rene. He's the right person, but he's got to get over this slight, it appears to be stubbornness. 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was saying, we've got no problem from set pieces and we've got no problem in defence. We clearly have got a problem with set pieces, and yesterday's interview was a bit more accepting that. So no, I'd keep Rodgers. I really would now. Ross says, I just pray our bad form stops now. And we have amazing form towards the end of the season. Interesting. Yeah, Nick, I'd love to get Wes. Oh, excuse me. My voice is going. All this shouting on the show. It would be amazing. There's times we could still do with Wes in that squad, I think, if I'm honest. Tim, why is Casper captain? That's a rhetorical one. I couldn't answer that. I remember the days. I'm quite old, Ethan. I remember Mark Wallington being a keeper and a captain for Leicester back in the would have been 80s, 82, 83, 84, around that. It never works. It never works, honestly. I don't think Kasper should be captain. I just think he can't influence the game from there. The team is a mess defensively, not just 4-5, says Tom. That comes from the manager being Rodgers out for 18 months anyway. So this isn't a surprise for me. Well, Tom, your predictions seem to be coming right. Ethan says next Monday, 7:30, I will still be Rodgers out. That's fine, Ethan. That is absolutely fine. Come and join me next Monday. Tim, yay! Yay! It's not rocket science, Tim, is it? It really isn't rocket science. Just drop this zonal marking. They're not. Watch it back. I mean, look, I'm an idiot. I'm not saying you guys are idiots, but I definitely am an idiot. You just watch the goals and you go, nobody's marking anybody. They're not marking anybody. My level of football is pub level football. It's poor. It's that poor that I've seen people do what Maddison does and leg people over. You know, that's what happens in pub football. You just leg somebody over because, they're too good for me. I'll leg you over, mate. That's the level I play. But zonal marking. Here's another one for you, Tim. Put somebody on the post. Watch all the goals back from this season. If we put somebody on the post, we'd have saved 3 or 4 goals just by having somebody on the post. We used to do it. You know, when we won the Premier League, we had somebody on the post. Do you know when we won the Premier League, we had Jamie Vardy go and stand on the halfway line and put a bit of the fear of God up in them. But now, no, everybody back and mark a space. They're all stood there like this, like, I'm marking. They're not looking at the people there, or they're just, I must stand. It's like robots. I will stand in this position here. And then the ball comes in and they're like, oh, it is in the net. Honestly, zonal marking. It's pretty schoolboy stuff, if I'm honest. Last few comments before we head off. His tactics are wrong. Yeah, I think so. You think Pule's our defensive coach? It's interesting in there. Well, yeah, at the time when Pule got sacked, I was still saying keep him because, to be fair, Pule had a really difficult job in my books. He was trying to slightly dismantle an aging club who won the Premier League and turn it into what it is now. For Brendan Rodgers has benefited from Claude Puel's work in there. LCFC great. Tarkowski is solid. I think we do need a defender. We are starting to get back to being in who should we sign in the January transfer window, because I do think we need to sign somebody. Kags did not look over his shoulder yesterday for the second. I know, that's what I'm saying. Kags was like this. I will defend like this. I will stand there like this. I am told to stand here. I stand here. He didn't look anywhere. Tim, he didn't look anywhere. It's so robotic. Tarkowski going to Newcastle. I think he probably will. I think a lot of teams will get in there. It's the ball. Well, zonal marking and ball watching, Keith. It's both. It is absolutely both. Yes, they do. They do. Look, I agree with you. I do agree you. It's strange. How's Kieran Dewsbury Hall doing? Do you think he'll come back on loan? Myla, I assume you're a Luton fan. I know he did very well for you this season. Ask most Leicester fans, and they think it's the second coming of Christ, Kieran Dewsbury Hall. I'm to be convinced. I thought he looked okay. He started his first. He's 23, so it's took him a while. 23 to start his first Premier League game, but he has done it, and he looked okay yesterday. He was probably one of the better players at times on the pitch. Missed a header that really could have turned the game. So, like Mr. Sean Smith says here, he's a breath of fresh air. He looked a bit more bothered than some of them, if I'm honest. Kags hasn't been the same since the Euros. No, he had a bad Euros in there. Keith says I'd give Rodgers 15 more games and some stacked heels. I don't know, Keith. I don't know what you mean about the stacked heels. Oh, is that because he's quite short? I'm making up, Keith. Put in the comments if that's what you mean, because Brendan is quite short. Oh, Reedy says talk about our penalty, Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Was it a penalty? Was it a penalty? Again, we've watched this in slow-mo. Our office on Mondays just turn into, forget work, it's just watching replays in slow-mo for 5 hours. Kieran Dewsbury Hall, to be fair, I didn't think it was yesterday, but I've got to be fair. I've watched it 10 times today. Reedy's shown it me. And it does look like it probably, I think with VAR, it probably was a penalty. Do you agree with that in there? Do you agree with that? LCFC Gray says it was a penalty. Ben, I'm with you. I didn't see much. I've seen them given, though, I think, in slow-mo, because Kieran Juice Wheels, the other guy puts his foot just on there. Again, it's a bit soft maybe, but Ross says, yes, a lot of hundreds and percents it should have been. Uncle Albert says, don't worry, lads. I'm on the way to sort this mess out. Denzel is bringing me to Leicester. Good old Uncle Albert. No, Matty. No, I don't think that was a foul at all, Matty. I think it was half a dozen of one and half a dozen of the other. 6 of the other and one of our, whatever the phrase is, Matty. Honestly, I think if you, again, watch it back, we've watched it today in slow-mo. Evans is in there. Casper's pushing. Johnny Evans almost pushes Casper into their players. I think it was a bit of... Keep it saying, yeah, it's the little manager. Has he got little man syndrome, do you reckon, in there? Maybe he has. I've never noticed how small he is. Patrick says, would have been a penalty last season, change the rules now. Thank you, Patrick. Maybe you're right on there. Barry, just why did you have to say that? Because do you know what? As soon as Watford came out, I did think, are we going to be one of those teams who win the FA Cup and then are out third round straight away? You know, when they say, and here come the holders, Leicester City against Watford, and then we lose. And you go, oh, well, that was the end of that amazing cup holding on to. It's already gone. A few people put in there against Allardyce. No, thank you. Thank you for no, but no for there. Why can't we play good in both halves? To be fair, Gray, I'd take why can't we play good in one half at the moment? Because yesterday there was splashes of Leicester being okay. There was perhaps 20 minutes in the first half and 20 minutes in the second half. Does anybody watching this, before we go, does anybody think we deserved to win yesterday at Aston Villa? Anybody watching this think, do you know what? I felt, in all honesty, Phil, I felt we deserved to win that, or we deserved a point. Maybe a point, but does anybody watching this think we should have won that yesterday? Because I honestly just don't think we should deserve. I think Villa showed more of everything, to be fair. And I think we just don't, you can't defend like that and want to win. I just don't think it was worth there. Ben says, I was ready to come on yesterday and rant yesterday. Luckily, you stopped. I'm glad I did stop. Listen, the half-time one has already been removed from Facebook for some reason. The full-time one, we got away with it. But, yeah, it was not good one in there. Barry says, first half, yes. Second half, no. I see Leicester drawing against Naples. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that could be there. Based on the first half, we deserved it. Yeah, but Keith, there was the second 45 minutes as well. Ben saying the draw would have been fair. We didn't do much second half. Reedy says, you do keep saying bad stuff for us, but you still back him. Something has to change before he's gone. Yes, I still back Brendan Rodgers. It's not going great at the moment. But you don't give in on people. We work with them. We need to support them more. We're allowed to say as fans, it ain't right. And you're darn okay with me to say you think I've got no problems with people saying they're Rodgers out. I'm just still saying I'm backing him and I'm going to keep going. But it ain't perfect. And I hope he removes some of the stubbornness and try some different things. That's my main thing for you on that is... yeah, and I'm going to pretty much end it with that. I am Rodgers in, but let's look forward to Naples. Let's look forward to Newcastle on Thursday. On Sunday. What am I on about? Talking absolutely rubbish. Coming up on Leicester Fan TV. We've got Jack on Wednesday night doing a fan zone show. Thursday, we've got a watch along. It is Napoli versus Leicester City. Friday, we've got Reedy on live. Sunday morning, 10 a.m., we have got Jamie with the famous Fox's Aftermath show. And then we have got Newcastle United. We'll see you down at the ground, obviously, against Newcastle. And there'll be a watch-along as well there. And just before I go, thank you, everybody, for all your comments. It's been much appreciated. Sorry we couldn't go live on Facebook. We've been given a slap wrist from yesterday's halftime show. Don't forget, I'll play the video again at the end for those of you who missed it. Pop down anytime tomorrow to Everards Meadows between 5 and 7. We'll be down there from 5. I'm only staying for about half an hour. So if you do get down there, there's some free beer tasting, and it is 10% off. So from me, Phil, thank you so much for all your views, all your comments. I'm going to play that video again so it will remind you about the Everards thing. If you can pop down, we're going to go live from there. It'd be great to get your views and comments on, and we'll see you then. Thanks for all your views.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. I'm down here with Keir from Everards. We're down here at the retail space. Keir, we've got some beer tasting coming on. Next Tuesday, we'd like to invite all Leicester fans, anybody you know, come down to the shop and do some beer tasting. And is it free?
Yeah, it's free. So between 5 and 7 on Tuesday, just pop down to the shop here. The team will take you through some beers that we've got on. We'll have Sleigh Bell, Festive Ale, and if you're lucky, we'll have some milk stout left as well.
Free beer tasting down here. Come down. It's at Everards Meadows. It's just off Foss Park, next to Geno's Coffee House. You'll see it straight from the road out there. Free beer.
Yeah.
Come and have a taste with me Tuesday night, 5 o'clock.
5 till 7. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Keir. We'll see you down there.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.